All right, all right. So, welcome to a very special holiday edition of Tuesdays with Bear. A lot to look forward to, a lot to give thanks for. Man, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, and who would have thought that the Steelers would lose to the Chiefs and the Bungles would go and lose to the Raiders? Well, the Survivor pool is now officially over, thanks to Bear and Steamers taking the Bungles, and a special thanks to Guns for not even submitting his pick. Nice job. Do the majority of you really not realize that, we got a couple of pools that are available out there? And that's the weekly NFL picks pool and the weekly GGFL picks and the Survivor pool. If you don't notice, they're here under the For Owners menu. And the only one that you can't get in anymore is the Survivor pool. So even if you haven't participated in the other two, there's really no time like the present to get started. You have to log in to submit your lineup, so just go ahead and add these to the repertoire as well. Just as you can with your lineup, you can even pick these, for multiple weeks. So you can log in and pick every game for all 17 weeks at one time. So there's no excuses. Get in the habit now for next year. It'd be nice to have a couple more people involved in this. So on another note, I just want to mention with regards to the change in team name, I figure one of two things is going to happen. Brett Favre's going to continue to play lights out, and I will have a cakewalk into the championship. Or now he goes in the tank along with my franchise. And guess what? Either way, I win. Believe it. All right, so this week we're going to give out a new thing I'm going to call the turkey rankings. Now, really, it's kind of a measure of how big of a turkey your franchise is. And so without further ado, let's get right into it. The least turkey, I guess, if you will, of all the franchises at number 12 is Forever Favre and a.k.a. Dancing Bear. I mean, let's be honest. Has any franchise really brought more to the league in this short history? I mean, if you're honest and take a look in the mirror, you'll have to agree that no, this franchise has brought more than any of you could ever imagine and ever will bring. Raising the bar on the smackboard, using videos, and nobody's going to come close to duplicating this. I mean, they don't even try anymore. So hopefully he just keeps it up. And he's already in the playoffs again for the second year in a row. At number 11, Boogie Down Productions. And while Boogie could bring a little more to the smackboard, he does entertain us with, images of loinclaws and things like that. But along with his counterpart, the Bear, up there at number 12, this expansion franchise is going to make the playoffs again for the second straight year. And this is only their second year of existence. So too bad the same can't be said for those other expansion teams who have yet to be mentioned. Going on, number 10, Purple Lane. Boy, did this franchise take a beating early on, and rightfully so. I mean, can't forget the loss to Chester, sandwiched in between wins, however, over Bear and Boogie. Man, what the heck? Has he finally seen the light? He's showing up on the smackboard with more regularity, and man, it's paying big dividends in the terms of wins. So as long as he can focus on fantasy football and not his upcoming wedding, this past champion might have some future success here. Number 9, American Standard. Man, why can't this guy win? He's constantly showing up in the post and in the kayaks, but I guess the problem is I think he's a little too soft. When you go back to some of his posts, and they actually include some apologies to, like the commissioner and other franchises. And, you can stuff your stories in a sack, mister. The GGFL doesn't play like that, and really, so bring some more fuel to the fire, and I think you'll be rewarded handsomely. Number 8 on our turkey list has to go to Jake Shake Redemption. Man, when this guy shows up on the smackboard, it's well thought out, it's intelligent, it's funny. Problem is, it happens way too sporadically for any of it to really matter. And much as in life, this franchise will continue to bask in mediocrity unless he decides to be a little more wild and spontaneous. Up at number 7 is Quadzell. Man, one bad trade and he's all over the smackboard, right? Begging, pleading, revoke this trade. Well, where have you been lately? Much like this team, this guy lacks any consistency. However, I have to give him points for past championships and his current standing. All right, that's the bottom 6 there. We'll move on to our top 6, but we got a new sponsor this week, and so we're going to hear from them, and then we'll be right back.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real Men of Genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Wednesday Weekly Roundup Writer Guy. Mr. Wednesday Weekly Roundup Writer Guy. Like clockwork, every Wednesday, you put pen to paper, paper to keyboard, giving us your lame thoughts and bonus BCS rankings. Sure, there's no logic to your rambling. Your team is below 500, but you'll stay ranked number 1. Why? Because you have D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. Damn you, John Fox. Your inept insight and underused brain tell us to fear a team that can't even post a winning record. My team is great. So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, right, boy. Because even though you're pathetic, at least you got a name for your draft. Mr. Wednesday Weekly Roundup, rider guy. All right, welcome back. And this week we're counting down the top turkeys of the GGFL just this year. We've taken a look at numbers 12 through 7. Now we got our top 6 here. So on with the countdown. Coming in at number 6 is semi-diabetic. Man, he's really the Chester Markle of last year, and his roster is almost as made up as the disease he claims he has. And while his record is a little better than expected based on his below-average intelligence, he really still faces an uphill battle as he tries to shake things up simply by trying to shake things up. I mean, Mario Manningham, child, please. Coming in at number 5 is Young Guns. I mean, what do you get when you start Ryan Moats, 0 carries, 0 catches, and don't submit your survivor pool pick? That's right, you get the 5th spot on the turkey list. This franchise is totally asleep at the wheel, and one can't help but wonder if he has just packed it in or if he's waiting for a truck to hit him. If only it were that easy, right? Up at number 4 is Camo won't trade AP. Yeah, like days of LT pass, you're really not going to win in this league with just one player, and I gotta love it. I mean, Bear was willing to send Camo Brett Favre, who had 18 points this past week, Calvin Johnson chimed in for 10, Brandon Jacobs, who had 7, and a first-round pick next year. All that for Adrian Peterson, who, by the way, had 3 points this past week. And Camo's response was simply that Bear was crazy. Yeah, I guess when you put up 27 points as a team instead of taking the 3 players and their 47 points, yeah, that is crazy. Welcome to number 4 on the turkey list. Chester Markle is just plain awful, comes in at number 3. And, for every Boogie and Bear expansion franchise, I mean, by that I mean just expansion studs, there is a semi-pro and a Chester type of franchise. And I guess what it does is it keeps the league in balance, right? And why this guy isn't the number 1 turkey is simple. And that is, man, he has taken a beating like a man. And let's face it, he was way oversold to us by the commish. And, that's not his fault. Christ. I mean, he won a game where he scored like 27 points. So, but don't be surprised if this franchise folds after only 1 year. I mean, I probably would. All right, we got 2 left. So who's going to come in at number 2? Now, that honor goes to the blah, 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 blah. I mean, Cleveland Steamers, whatever you want to call them, pathetic. I mean, isn't it time you put this overplayed word to rest? I mean, tell us again, almighty Merlin, how great your draft was, or better yet, how bad my team is. And, please, I want to hear more about how awesome all of your stud running backs are, right? Didn't you have like 5 or 6 of them? And, I guess last time I checked, you could only start 2 of them, right? So, but I guess they didn't have any bearing on your crappy group of wide receivers either. Right? Let's face it, without Chris Johnson, you're nothing, right? You can't bank your team on one player. I already talked about that. And you know what? Even with them, you're still what we thought you were, and that is a paltry 5-6. Pathetic. So I guess that leaves just one franchise who gets the honor of biggest turkey of the league, and that would be Slim Not So Fast. Right? Did anyone see this coming? I guarantee you who didn't see it coming is Slim, and he probably won't ever see it coming because all he does, other than submit his lineup, nothing. I mean, this franchise reeks. Not a single post, text, email, phone call. This guy is a joke. I mean, he's clearly breaking the rules of the bylaw, which states, that posting is actually a requirement. And, sadly, this franchise has not, does not, and simply will not get it. And I don't care what his record is or how many times he makes the playoffs. Bottom line is he's always a bridesmaid and never a bride. Does anybody ever wonder why Slim doesn't make any noise in the playoffs? I mean, look no further than the fact that he doesn't make any noise in this league. The two go hand in hand. I mean, hey, thanks for giving away those 4 tickets again. Talk about the Baltimore game and Green Bay. What does he do? He says Jimmy and I and Bardo and, maybe a 4th. He's going to, at least let us have the 4 tickets. He gives them to 2 clients and then Bardo is like, that's a nice play. Wow. Good luck this week, everybody, and hopefully, when it's all said and done, I'll be, still at the top, and you guys can all, kiss me ass out.
I'll just say goodnight and I'll show myself to the big scene. Just wait till I finish this glass. And sweet little lady, I'll head back to the